Hi everyone, it's Lesley here from HungryHeffyCrafts. Thanks for joining me today. I have got a shaker card featuring the Loch Ness Monster. Well, actually it's got lots of different stamp sets, mostly Lawn Fawn today. I'm using the Loveable Legends set, which has the little Loch Ness Monster and the Kraken. I've used the rock from Mermaid for You and also the little jellyfish from the So Jelly set. And I'm adding these little party hats to my critters as well because they're having a party under the sea. I'm starting off with my Misty tool and stamping all of my little stamped images all in one go onto some smooth white Nina cardstock. I'm using Nina because it takes my Copic colors really well, so I like to use that when I'm using Copic markers. I've pulled out some watercolor cardstock here and I've cut a panel using the large stitch rectangle die from Lawn Fawn, and then also created a frame with this postal, kind of like a postage stamp frame on the inside. And I also cut a rectangle of acetate too, which will help me build up my shaker. On my rectangular piece of cardstock here, I'm using my ink blending tool and some distress inks just to build up a background with lots of blue colors. This is going to give my underwater, under the sea kind of feel to the background. And I'm not worried about too much blending because once my ink is all blended, I'm going to spritz it with some water and pick up some of that moisture, and that gives a lovely distressed feeling to the background. Onto my Copic colouring. I've used some cool greys for the rock, and then for the Kraken, or this little octopusy thing, squid, I don't know what he is, I've used R59, R27, I've also brought in V12, V15, and I used a little R22. In the middle then V17 and V04. There's quite a lot of colours in this guy because I've got some dark purples at the top fading into some pink tones, and then that fading into some reds. For the Nessie, I only really used 3 tones, YG63, G21 and YG11. And I added some dot detail to his back. And for the jellyfish, I've got Y17, YG00 and Y38. Once I had them all coloured in, I used the coordinating dies to cut them out. And now I'm adding my acetate to the back of my frame so that I can start to figure out where I want to put everything and get a visual of what the finished card would look like. So this is the part where I start to play around and until I become happy with the placement. And I decided I wanted to incorporate the number 4 because this is for a birthday card. And I'm just going to stick this down on the reverse side of a post-it note just to hold it in place while I colour it in using some Copic markers. Even though this is watercolour cardstock and not like a Nina card, it's fine for just a small element like this. So I'm just going to blend these with similar green tones that I used in Nessie. And I'll add some foam tape to the back of my frame. What I like to do is fold my foam tape in half like this, and then take my scissors and split it up the middle into a thinner strip. Then this way I can stick 2 layers at once down on the back of the frame. You really do need 2 layers in order to give enough room behind the acetate for all the shaky bits to move around. So putting some foam tape all the way around my card. And when I do this, when I cut it down the middle, I make sure that I have the machine cut side on the inside of my card. I think it helps it not become so sticky and the little sequins to stick to it. So for my elements that's going to be inside the card, I don't want any of my sequins to stick to them, so I'm covering the back with some glue, and I'm using a glue pen for this. and I'll stick these right down and make sure that they're really stuck before I add some other finishing touches to the inside of the card. I've got this bubbles stamp. I'm going to stamp this just randomly on the background, and a little bit later I do add some fish as well, and I've just picked out one of those blue tones that I used when I was blending the background. It was still on my desk, so I think it's Salty Ocean. I decided that I needed a few extra elements on the card. So in the Mermaid for You stamp set, there is this, I guess it's like seaweed? I think it's seaweed. And I stamped 3 of these. And I also stamped some of the coral image in a couple of colors, just to help build out as I build the scene. So I stamped these using some colored ink this time. I've used some Simon Says Stamp dye ink for this, and cut them out using the coordinating dies and run them through my Big Shot. And I'm going to tuck one beside the rock and then a couple on the front of the card as well. So for sticking these to the acetate, I find that it's a lot easier to stick these down using some glue dots. So for the little tiny pieces stuck to the front, I'm using the Zot's Bling glue dots, but for the elements on the inside I use the glue pen. So let's stick Nessie on the front here now too, and I'll use some larger glue dots for that. So I thought that it would be cute to add a little cake to the scene. But the cake that's in this Party Animal stamp set has a candle, and well, it'd be pretty silly to have a candle under the sea. So I inked up the stamp and then removed the ink from the candle and added the little flag on top. So I think that is more appropriate for an underwater birthday cake, don't you? Here I am adding those little fish, once again from the Mermaid from You stamp set. And I'll add a little glaze pen to the eyes of all my critters just to really brighten them up. And I've taken some Stick It adhesive and I've put it on both sides of a piece of craft foam and ran this number 4 die through my Cuttlebug twice. So I have a nice foam 4. And I'm going to stick this on the inside of the card. And then the green coloured number 4 I will put on the outside of the acetate. So I will remove any static from the inside using my embossing powder tool and sprinkle lots of embellishments on the inside here. Stick my frame on top and add a little glitter to the number 4. And there we go, the card is complete. I actually forgot to add the little hats on the inside, so I just stuck them right on top of the acetate. And there we go, a finished card. Thank you so much for watching this video. Here's some more videos that you may like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any of my other videos as soon as they're released. You can also leave me a like and a comment down here, and don't forget to follow me on social media @HungryHeffy. I'll see you there. Have a great day and happy crafting. Bye!